Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Curations, Effects, Tutorials, Demos, and Review. And this is the Ambient Afternoons episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button for me. Greatly appreciate you. Definitely helps me out a lot. And if you've already hit that like button, go ahead and hit some of them reactions for me, hype button, all that good stuff. But, so this particular session I do is more geared towards a little bit more plain, less talking. That's why I haven't been doing much talking, just doing an introduction here. But, all right, let's get settled in. So, what you were kind of listening to in the beginning is a combination of pedals. So, just some of my always on pedals is going to be things like the Empress compressor, which I have set to a 4-to-1 ratio. Let's take some of this other stuff off so you can have that by itself. Matter of fact, I don't know why I just did all that, because I can just, bam, press that there. And let's get rid of the ToneX. 2 ToneX ones. So one of my absolute favorite compressors. So I don't even know who Tony Levins is, to be honest. I listen to me, to be honest. Stuff you hear me doing bass is definitely not from other bass players. So but yeah, so just with that compressor, you're already kind of in there good money. So then we got just for the sake of giving my normal bass tone. Then the ToneX ones would come into play. So just real quick, pedal order would be Empress Compressor, Future Impact, going to the, what's this? The, let's see, where do I have these? Okay, so Empress Compressor, Future Impact, Electro Harmonics POG 3, into the Enzo X, then into the two ToneX ones, left and right, then the Mercury X into the Jam Man Solo HD out to the Canvas line isolator. So, and I also have the MIDI keyboard hooked up to the pedal board rig here as well. So that's actually running, the EP's running from my iPad, but I also have the ability to play pads and different things between I can play the POG 3 and the Enzo X and the Future Impact V4 VIP with MIDI keyboard as well. So I have those set up for that. So that whole pad you're hearing is from the Enzo X and the Mercury X. Also have, if I want to do a little bit of an organ sound. And that organ sound is actually the POG 3. So, the pedals these days, the way they allow you to do so much stuff in small packages, while the Enzo X, Mercury X, POG 3 are in bigger pedal form, when you think about everything that they can do, they aren't really that big. The POG 3 is actually smaller than the Hog 2, right? So, and plus the Hog 2 needed to have had limited MIDI capabilities, and it also didn't have I like the way this layout is, even though I feel like I lost a few octaves here, and I do still wish I had a decay slider here, but you gained a lot by getting a POG 3, even though it's in a smaller pedal form here. Then I know it's not the smallest pedal, of course, but for everything that it does, it's a freeze pedal, filter, detune, can be a tack pedal, a fade in sound, all that good stuff for you. As well as those octaves can be set to anything you would like them to with the warp function. But yeah, so you definitely have a really flexible setup here, even with this few amount of pedals. That's why I've really dialed back my rig, to just this stuff. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pedals for real. And then also have a Luminite Graviton M1 MIDI controller here. This allows me to be able to switch those patches. And I also can do that with the foot switches. I have the foot switch to go with the Luminite M1 as well. So I can also switch to various patches. So all from the foot switch without ever touching the pedal board. Very convenient, But yeah, let's continue on back to where we were. So just my regular bass sound is going to be depending on where I want it, depending on what I'm doing. So that's pretty much regular bass tone right there. And with that tone model is the color box running into the Eden WT DI box, right? That's available in a pack on Patreon as well. Check out my Patreon for all my preset packs for these various different pedals, as well as the Zoom multi-stomp, Zoom B6, all that good stuff, as well as any of the pedals you see here, with the exception of the POG 3, still working on that preset pack, but all these, the Future Impact, all these have preset packs available. So, yeah, so even right there, and believe it or not, like I said, the Mercury X gives you a lot to that. So you add on the Mercury X preset pack. So it gives you a ton of body to it, What's going on, folks? Appreciate all y'all chiming in on the different platforms. Trying to keep up with all y'all on the different ones, but definitely appreciate you. Hit that like button wherever you at. Definitely helps a brother out. So, what do we got here? All right, cool. Let that rock. But beautiful, always cuts through for me. Beautiful, all that good stuff. But, using a combination of the pedals, like I know it just seems like a few pedals, 3 pedals here, but these 3 pedals pretty much will replace a ton of pedals. They replaced like 15 pedals for me. So, and I mean replaced them in extreme fashion, not just a little bit, not a compromise, really replace them, so let's take a look at that. For instance, Enzo X has replaced all of my filters. So that's actually my favorite filter out right now, compared to a lot of the other, even analog filters. I spent a lot of time with analog filters. I love them, but sometimes in a live setting, they don't always cut the way I would, like them to. The same way that particular, that jank cuts. So you just got tons and tons of, just as a filter is crazy. But then you got stuff like the this twin filter sound I made on the Mercury X. So you just get a nice, like just a different type of filter out of it, and it's going to cut for you. Still have plenty of bottom. If you wanted more of your dry signal in there, you can always add that. So, having a setup like this where the pedals are really efficient and the MIDI control and the MIDI presets are very efficient with something like the Graviton M1. I also have the CME H4 MIDI Pro running wireless underneath, so I have things wirelessly connected to the pedal board MIDI as well. But it makes it very convenient for setup, breakdown, and while you're performing. I can have my pedal board up here, do a lot of the controlling of things from my feet. I still have I have the 10-foot switch that matches the Luminite Graviton M1, and I have the MIDI Captain as well. So the MIDI Captain I'm using for expression stuff. Say I wanted to turn on the ring mod. No, turn it on, but say I wanted to engage that. So there I'm just engaging the ring mod, via the hold modifier right there. And little things like if I press, if you press certain ones twice, it'll also give you the reverb effect of that, or toggle the effect on and off. Regular bass, phaser. Nice chorus here. So it's kind of, the key I find to using a pedal board like this live and using it efficiently, is to have things set up in presets, what I'm saying, one way or the other, which means you're more than likely going to have to spend a little extra money just getting the MIDI up and running, So luckily, things like the Luminite Graviton M1, those are only like $150, but they are touch screen and they fit conveniently on your pedal board like this. And, of course, you can move it around. I have it so this is just a little tiny bit of Velcro, enough to hold it in place when I wanted to, but if I want to just pick it up, take it off the board, I can do that. But I like having the H4 MIDI Pro because that actually delegates a lot of the WIDI, which is wireless MIDI. So the keyboard here is actually wirelessly transmitting to the H4 MIDI Pro. It has a WIDI master on it, which is just like this little WIDI dongle. So essentially, I can run keys and bass and key bass and anything else I want to run, organ, any of my synth sounds. All the synth sounds, by the way, like strings and all that stuff was coming from the Enzo X, patches I made on the Enzo X. But it actually adds a ton of flexibility to your board, just getting you up and running fast, But with the wireless stuff, you don't have to set up as many things. It's either, excuse me. So I also have the board power-wise set up to be very convenient for me to use live. Like I can power this MIDI controller, which is an Axiom 61, M-Audio Axiom 61, older MIDI controller, but runs on USB power. I can run that, this entire board, and both of my foot switches down bottom that you can't see are both have rechargeable batteries built into them, or not built into the MIDI Captain. I installed them in the MIDI Captain, but the 10-foot switch has built-in batteries, so both of those are wireless. The keys are wireless, and the Luminite here is running wirelessly, all to the pedal board. So all of that, I can change patches from here. That's wirelessly. Wires you see coming out of it, this is the USB I'm using to power it, and this is actually a TRS running to the expression pedal that I use to control all the MIDI effects on here. So Mercury X, Enzo X, POG 3, and Future Impact V4. So say I want to go from that setting to a solo sound. And I can do it just with my feet. So all that's just right at your fingertips, and that's the hardest part about having more of a complex rig that you're running, is getting to the actual sounds. Another reason I dialed back on the pedals was because, to cut back on some of the tap dance. And now, pretty much, let me see. So, pretty much I have two things that are like this on the floor they're pretty much lined up in a row. So 16 foot switches in a row. It's really not, all presets. Always the last two on both of my presets change the pages. So if I want to change the bank on this, I can just bam, bam, bam. Then I can select anything that's on that page corresponding to the pedals. So makes my life when I say it makes it way simpler, I'm getting right to the sounds. I ain't got to fiddle around too much. Even if I wanted to get to future impact sounds, not difficult at all. And a lot of times, like I said, I'm still getting used to all the foot switches, just where everything is as it's corresponding. So, you can do a ton of different things. take something like that. Let's see what else we got. We can run that through. Let's see. Bam. So, very, getting to a very direct setup is sometimes very difficult. And a lot of times you'll have to go through quite a few pedals. You know what I'm saying? Just experimenting, trying out different pedals and different forms of things. That's why I try to do these pedal reviews and these little, I guess, tips and tricks where you guys can try to spend a little less money trying to get to the sounds you want. Something like the Enzo X is going to give you a good starting point, you know what I'm saying, in terms of it'll give you, now, I'm talking about if you're a more advanced player, meaning you understand effects, you understand filters, and, you may not quite understand synth, but you can begin to wrap your mind around it, oscillators and filters together and things like that. Enzo X be a great addition, you know what I'm saying? And as a bassist, it definitely adds some tremendous modulations, the drives, the filters, all that stuff is really amazing in there. So I have no complaints with that. But if you can't tell, I love like very outer space, galactic type of sounds. Mind you, this is just the Enzo X and the Mercury X, along with the let's put the ToneX ones on the color box setting. Well, that's a good question. Somebody asks, do they let you use all those sounds at church, or they say keep clean, tone clean? To be honest, people don't really tell me not to do stuff. I'm seasoned enough where people pretty much trust my judgment. And if anything, I do it in a place where it makes sense. Like, you shouldn't be doing that sound when you should be doing a bass sound. You know, there's a huge difference between that sound and, or better yet, those are two different sounds. So, you know, I'm not going to be playing that pad sound while I should be playing this bass sound. And even still, even while I have all these synth bass sounds and octavers, I pull them out at appropriate times. If you're playing, for instance, an old school gospel tune, why would you start playing a synth bass sound or octaver sound on it just to force it in there? It doesn't fit. Just play your regular bass sound, play the correct part, you know, and you'll be fine. Now, when it comes up an opportunity for me to play a bass sound, I'm all over it. You know what I'm saying? I don't come in there with just a bass sound. Now, there's times in church, if you don't have to play a key bass sound. If you don't want to, you can literally just play a bass sound, never play key bass or synth bass sounds, and you'll be fine. But when you can just pull it out, and you pull it out tastefully, and you took the time to make sure that the sounds kind of match up similarly to what's going on the record and things. It doesn't need to be the exact sound. That is a myth. It does not need to be the exact sound. But you know, get something that's decently close. You know, that feels good. It can even be. It doesn't have to be the exact sound. It can be a sound that makes you feel good on that particular song. But if you play it correctly and you use your effects and things correctly, then people won't generally have a problem with you using them. So I also would recommend, you know, if you do want to use some pad sounds while maybe they praying or something, you know, you try out a little bit, you know, throw a little bit out there. Don't do too much, you know what I'm saying? You might just be like, you know what I'm saying, just test out the waters a little bit. You know, you don't want to jump off the bridge with it. You might just hit them with something like that. See how low that is? Just start. If you know chord changes and you're able to play chords, and I know, you know the particular song they're playing, you know, a lot of times pianists, organists don't like when you play along with them too much because they like to have some freedom. But, you know, if I'm just enhancing things like that, or I might even go to a lead sound, something like that, but I wouldn't like that. Sorry, let me even these out, guys. These back to volume. So, bam, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can break out something like that. It's a little bit more mellow, or something that's a little bit into whatever they're doing. You know, you don't want to just bust out with some random sounds and expect everybody to be happy. It needs to be musical as possible. Let me see. We got This pedal board isn't that big. This pedal board is about 14 by 8. So this is actually a medium-sized pedal board, so it's not really that big. It just looks bigger because of the GoPro. Yeah, just for reference, like this is like my arm. My what's this thing called? My forearm is exactly 12 inches, so just for reference. But so it's not a very big pedal board. It's literally one power switch. So this whole pedal board and all the MIDI and the MIDI controller are all powered by the Canvas Power 15. So just one plug, and it's right here. It's one plug on the side here that powers the whole board. Then what I can do from here, if I'm running to an amp directly and then running DI, like say I don't feel like taking my line isolator, I can just take the board, run mono out of the Digitech into the amp. If I need to run from there, I can run the DI out from there and just bypass the preamp on the DI. So set the DI to pre. But if I feel like it, I'll take my Canvas line isolator. I can run this, summit to mono, or I can run it to, at 2 XLRs out, stereo if I want to, all that good stuff. So, it's pretty much just trying to make it. For me, it's not about lugging around more gear or less gear. It's taking what I need and having that be accessible to me when I need it. Now, so if I at church, lately I just been running straight to the bass amp because that particular bass amp has a sound that I like, and it also has built-in multi-band compressor built into it. It's a TC Electronic BH500. It actually is my old TC Electronic BH500 along with my 410s, which I had bought brand new and never really took out the house too much. So that's at the church now. I don't have that problem. It sounds really good, and I just run that direct. But I did a studio session, for instance, last week, and of course I took my pedal board. You want your stuff there when you need it. See, so you have a Dark Star. I don't know what a Dark Star is, and no, I don't have one. This is a Mercury X, Enzo X, Pog 3, Future Impact, Empress Compressor, ToneX 1s, Jam Man Solo HD, And this is the additional foot switch for the Jam Man HD. Now, I do have more pedals than that, but I don't know Dark Star, And let's not overlook how the Enzo X and the Future Impact are crazy, amazing synths. You know what I'm saying? I actually met the creator of the Future Impact V4 VIP at NAMM. I'll have to post the pictures later, but got to take a picture with him. He was at NAMM and had a great time, seeing a lot of the creators of pedals and effects that I like, so that was amazing. And made a lot of business connections. I will say this, I think a lot of people, if you get a chance to go to NAMM, try to go and get some business done, get some connections, not just with musicians, more so with the actual music manufacturers and different brands, and connect with those people as well as the musicians. You want to make as many connections with people as you can, and then potentially do some collaborations with folks. I got some good collaborations coming up for you guys with other bass players, YouTubers, things like that are going to be great for the channel and just great for you guys to see and experience. So, anytime you get in that type of environment, of course, when it's your time to play, anytime it's your time to play anywhere at any point in time, I don't care if it's in your house, go ahead and play. You play and you get in the habit of always playing at a certain level and your playing goes up. But, past that, you want to go to something like that and like NAMM and really focus. Like it's hard. It's hard to focus because you see so much gear, so many people, so many performances. But you want to focus on making those business connections because a lot of times you can get caught up just watching performances all day, just playing with gear all day, and then at the end of the day, it's going to serve you much better. You go to something like NAMM and you try to really make those connections and make yourself, useful past your playing. You want companies to mess with you, you're going to have to make yourself useful more than just playing your instrument. What's your whole business look like and how does that benefit them in any way, shape, or form? So, yeah, that's my little tidbit for that for the day. But, yeah, so in terms, let's get back to pedalboard action here. So, just to recap, the basic tips, for the day. If you have the capability of having MIDI on your board, go ahead and incorporate it in different ways. Like I said, you don't have to have all these MIDI devices that I have. You might only have a few, but trust and believe when you're on stage and you can just press something and go, and it makes a world of a difference, See, because I can easily. And same thing, so let me see something here. So, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. I definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a little bit. You know how it go. You know, this is Ambient Afternoons. You know, I'm going to get back to doing this a little bit more. As well as, if you haven't already, check out my Patreon for all my preset packs and various things like that, guys. For the future impact, got a bunch of new ToneX packs for the combination packs, like the color box plus the Eden WTDI, or the color box plus the Ampeg SGT, color box plus the Gensler Magellan, color box plus the Aguilar AG preamp, plus, you know, more. So check all that stuff out, as well as the individual preset packs, version 2 and version 1, for all those different preamps. So check them out over on Patreon. And if you want to support the channel more, you can do that on Patreon or sign up as a channel member. I'm getting ready. All right, guys, this stuff ain't going to be free. These little tips, these tips and stuff I'm going to be giving y'all. And I'm going to be specifically covering things that the community of members want me to cover soon. So I'm going to start taking topic requests from the members, and on things, you know, how to achieve certain sounds and do different things with bass effects, or just effects in general, or how to create some of these synth sounds. So make sure you check out the Patreon and the YouTube membership for that type of stuff. Now, also, if you want to check out my music, allbasscreations.bandcamp, all that good stuff. So make sure you subscribe, you like, and you share. If this helped you out, you can Cash App, Super Chat, all that good stuff. And we'll have some new, you know, pedal reviews and things coming up for you guys soon. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you like and, you know, hit some of the reactions for me on your way out. But I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me. That's all I'm going to do for right now. I'll catch you guys next time. This has been another episode of All Bass Creations, Effects, Tutorials, Demos, and Review. I am the Bass Negus. Make sure you check me out on all social media at the Bass Negus. Find me on TikTok, Twitch, of course, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. You find me and follow me on there too. But I'll catch you guys later. Thanks. Peace.